With this, I call the meeting number 133 to order. As I was saying, I am extremely upbeat today, and I'm extremely upbeat because we have beat the clock. So what is beat the clock? Beat the clock is three of the global membership awards that we have in the Toastmasters fraternity. So these are given by Toastmasters International for adding 5 members in a particular duration. So the first one is the Smedley Global Membership Award, which is given to a club which is adding 5 members between August and September. We got the Smedley Global Toastmasters Award. After that, there is the Talk Up Toastmasters Award, which is given to a club which adds 5 members between 1st of February and 31st of March. And we got that also. And then there's a Beat the Clock, which is between, if you add 5 members between 1st of May and 30th of June. And we got that as well. And there's a second time in a row that the Gabbys Toastmasters Club has won all the 3 global membership awards, making us a super club twice in a row. A big round of applause to everyone who has made this possible. We at the Gabbys, we believe that we get members not because we go out and reach out to people and ask them, please, please, please join the Gabbys. We just ensure that we do what we are supposed to do. Ensure that we have quality meetings, ensure that we have meetings that start on time, ensure that every role taker is prepped well before the meeting, ensure that we are giving 100% so that you have a great learning experience for the time that you are spending here. But I would really need to call out those people who have made this possible for us to get the Beat the Clock in particular, those 5 new members who have been the reason that we got the award. So let me call out those 5 new members in the order in which they joined us. Toastmaster Devyani Nair. Devyani, if you can please come on camera. Toastmaster Jyoti Mandal. Toastmaster Jitendra Rulania. Toastmaster Devashish Parmar, and Toastmaster Abigail Varghese. Thank you so much, the 5 of you. It is you who has made this possible for us to win this award, the Beat the Clock Toastmasters Club Award. The Gabbys, as I said, it's not about only winning awards. Awards is a recognition of what we are doing right in terms of keeping the fundamentals in place. So as far as the fundamentals is concerned, it's about the quality of the meetings, which again drives the education in the club. So till date, in the last 2 years, we have been chartered only for 2 years. And the number of education awards that the Gabbys has got till now is 195. Close to 200 awards in 2.5 years. And this is, if you look at the general benchmark, in a year, a club generally gets between 10 to 15 awards in a year. So at that rate, it would have probably taken us 20 years to reach there. But this is something that we have been able to do in 2.5 years, thanks to all the members. Just in the last week, we have had as many as, I think, 7 awards or 8. 7 awards. From the last meeting to this meeting, we have got 7 awards. And these are the people who have got us the awards. Toastmaster Vijay Lakshmi CD, Presentation Mastery Level 2. Congratulations, Vijay Lakshmi. Toastmaster Ashwini N, Presentation Mastery Level 2. Thank you, Ashwini, for bringing the award. DTM Saurabh Datta, Motivational Strategies Level 3. Toastmaster Chitrakshi Vij, Effective Coaching Level 3. Toastmaster Ayush Goel, Presentation Master Level 3. Toastmaster Bala Venkat, Motivational Strategies Level 1. And Toastmaster Dhwani Adisara, Presentation Mastery Level 3. Why I'm reading out these names is also for us to appreciate the fact that these awards have not been contributed by 1Z, 2Z superstars, the Sachins and the Dhonis of the team, but it is a complete team effort where everyone comes forward, and which is what makes us not only the club with the highest number of education awards, but the top 4 clubs in the district in terms of the members to awards count, which means that each member has contributed to winning an award. And that is what makes this special. So thank you once again, the Gabbys Toastmasters Club, for just doing it and doing it right and doing it so well. Now let me introduce the person who is going to take this meeting forward. She joined us as a speech crafter, and she has been one of the most difficult speech crafters that I have had the experience of handling. Why do I say so? After every speechcraft meeting, I did not need to ask, do you have any questions? I would say, Chitrakshi, what question do you have? And the questions were never easy. The questions were not like, what do you think about speechcraft? Those questions are easy to answer. Our questions were always pinpointed. Why did this happen? Why did that happen? 50% of the questions were questions, 50% was feedback masked as question. And that was the fire in the belly that we saw in this particular speech crafter who joined our speechcraft program. And I was not surprised when she immediately joined Toastmasters just as soon as the speechcraft concluded, or in fact, before the speechcraft concluded. Not only that, she hit the ground running. In the opening over, she scored a few levels. And then even before we knew, she completed a path. And absolutely charismatic, full of energy. Please welcome with a big round of applause our Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Chitrakshi Vij, an image management professional who is an off-road and travel enthusiast who wants to impact 1 million lives by 2033. She's already impacted one life for sure, which is mine, influenced me, motivated me a lot. Over to you, Toastmaster Chitrakshi Vij, our Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, Saurav. I thought I'm going to come with a bang, but you today have another level of energy. Never seen that with you before, but I'm so happy. You're usually the welcome, everyone. So I'm very, very happy that my energy from last week has rubbed off on Saurav. And before I could go, good morning, everyone. Now I don't know what to say. And then Saurav gives such a beautiful introduction. And it was nice. But I'm going to stop that because I can't just do it anywhere. Having said that, what do you all feel when I say just do it? What do you all remember? What is that one name that comes to your mind? And I know everyone, the same name. Nike, exactly. But do you know how Nike got that name? How was it inspired? Yes, Toastmaster Pranav.
I read about it just some time back, and it was not a good thing. It was not a good reason how they got it. It was actually a very negative reason how they got this. I'm going to leave that negative reason to you to, tell. So let me leave it at that.
Anyone who wants to say that negative reason for me? Okay, so the agency which gave the slogan "Just Do It" was inspired by a convict who was on a death row. And the words that he said were the same words that my mentor says to me all the time. Let's do it. Now, let's do it. Let's do it. It's such a positive way of looking at things. And it happened at a time when he was dying. He said it to people when they were killing him. Death sentence people. At that time, bias negative people, but such a positive thing to say, even then facing death with courage. I'm not going too much into detail about it, but saying let's do it inspired the agency to just do it. And today Nike says just do it, and that's all we can think of. But why this as a theme? Very simple. You've just heard Saurabh, educational awards, 2 weeks to go. So those who haven't done it, just do it. I know we love thinking. I know we want to keep saying, oh, the speech is not right. I don't think it's the right time. I don't have time at work. I'm so busy. Well, we all are, aren't we? Does any of us want to not be busy? No, right? We all want to stay busy. We all want to do the work that we want to, but we've got to take out time for these projects. Come on, everyone. 2 more weeks to go. And I think we have 16 awards to win. So let's win them and get them back home. So 3 people who are going to do it, I'm going to start telling you the details about them soon. And a little bit of twist in the introduction would be getting those people here and introducing them by how many awards they won till now, and so many more to win. Having said that, let's talk about some serious business, or not so serious business. Well, today's meeting is divided into 4 sections. The first section is the prepared speech section. The second section is the table topic section. Third section is the evaluation section, and fourth is the general evaluation section. So the first section, every speech is going to be 5 to 7 minutes for the timer to note. The second will be table topics, which we know is 1 minute, 1.5, and 2 minutes. The third section, which is the speech evaluation section, will be 2 to 3 minutes. And the fourth section, which is the general evaluation section, will take their time. Having said that, let me introduce to you the general evaluator who is going to start today's meeting by evaluating all of us, each and every one of us. The general evaluator for today is a new product introduction engineer at Caterpillar. She's an area director, area E1. She has been a division champion for table topics contest and has won 2 triple crowns and 1 pathbreaker. See there, just do it, people. Educational awards. An avid reader, a Potterhead, part of whom resides in a mystical world full of pixies. Oh my God, I'm so interested. Her quote is, "Life happens, chocolates help." With that, I would like to welcome our general evaluator for today, Toastmaster Simam. Over to you, Toastmaster.
Thank you, Toastmasters Chitrakshi, for such a warm welcome. Good morning, everyone. Well, it is said, without reflection, we go blindly away, creating more unintended consequences and failing to achieve anything useful. How many of you looked at yourself at the mirror in the morning and at the first glance felt, oh, I look perfect today? Can I get a raise of hands? Yeah, there you go. You are perfect. But the very next moment, you realize that, oh, my hair is not done properly. Oh, my face looks so puffy. And you try to fix it. In the same way, this segment is a reflection of our journey. How well are we doing and the scope of improvement? In Toastmasters, we believe in constructive feedback. Today, my objective as a general evaluator would be take into account the complete proceeding of today's meeting from beginning till the end. I will be evaluating all the role takers and speakers today. But do you think this mammoth of a task can be done all alone? Absolutely not. To help me with this is my enthusiastic Tagger team, which stands for timer, accounter, grammarian, and listener. Let me introduce my Tagger team for today. Our timer for today is Toastmaster Devyani, who is currently pursuing her bachelor's degree from Mount Carmel College in economics and political science. She is interested in pursuing a career in economics with a strong interest in quantitative economic analysis. Can we get a huge round of applause for Toastmaster Devyani? Devyani, can you please explain your role in brief?
Thank you, GE. In a Toastmasters meeting, time is of absolute essence. So in the first part, the prepared speeches, it ranges from 5 to 7 minutes. At 5 minutes, I will show the green card. At 6 minutes, the yellow card, and at 7 minutes, the red card. And each speaker will have a grace time of 30 seconds. The table topics session, at 1 minute, I will show the green card. At 1 minute 30 seconds, the yellow card, and at 2 minutes, the red card. And finally, for the evaluation section, at 2 minutes, I will show the green card. At 2 minutes 30 seconds, the yellow, and 3 minutes red. I hope all the speakers today will stay on time. And at the end of the meeting, I will present my report.
Thank you, Toastmaster Devyani. Moving on to our counter of the day today. Our counter for the day is Toastmaster Nitesh, who is currently working as a senior engineer in Target Corporation, Bangalore, and is a father of 4 years daughter. He enjoys traveling, playing badminton, and reading books. Toastmaster Nitesh, could you please explain your role in brief?
Good morning, Toastmaster Simap, dear guest and fellow Toastmasters. The purpose of our counter is to note words and sounds that are used as a crutch word or pause filler by anyone who speaks during this meeting. I will listen for overused words including and, well, but, so, and you know. I will also listen for filler sounds including and I will also note when a speaker repeats words or phrases such as I, or this means, this means. At the end of the meeting, I will report the number of times each speaker used these expressions. Thank you, Toastmaster Simab. Over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Nitesh. Moving on to the grammarian for today, who is Toastmaster Jyoti. Toastmaster Jyoti is working in Course 5 Intelligence Analytics Company. She is a health coach, nutrition advisor, and yoga instructor. She is a division contestant in ISC and Table Topics contest of Division H District 92. Toastmaster Jyoti, could you please explain your role in brief?
Hello, everyone. Good morning. As a grammarian, my responsibility is to make note of good usages and incorrect usages. Word of the day is candor, meaning quality of being open and honest. Example, our Toastmasters deliver speeches with candor about their experiences. I'll drop the word of the day in the chat and I'll present my report at the end of this meeting. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Jyoti. I would request everyone today, whoever would be taking up on stage, to use the word of the day. And moving on to the last one in my team, our listener for today, who is Toastmaster Sri Lakshmi. She's a certified image consultant and soft skills trainer by profession. She's a double, triple crown winner and double path breaker. She's the founder of Imaginatic Image Consulting Services. Toastmaster Sri Lakshmi, could you please explain about your role in brief?
Yeah, thank you, G. The purpose of purpose of listener is to be very well versed in. You want to be being a listener. If you are, if you want to be in good at every field, whether you want to be in good at your workplace, outside workplace, you should listen to others. That is very important. Toastmasters is the platform we provide best listening, improve your listening skills. So as a listener, I will make note of some interesting questions. I already started making note of it. At the end, I'll come with point. I'll come down with some questions. Over to you, G.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sri Lakshmi. With this, I, along with my Taggle team, will share my report at the end of the session. And you all are under our radar. Just kidding, guys. Enjoy the session and just do it. With this, over to you, Toastmaster Chitrakshi.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sima. We know that we are under the radar, not just because you're the general evaluator, but I believe everyone is being evaluated today. There are 3 prepared speeches and 6 evaluators. Why? Because everyone is evaluated, including the team on. Hence, I shall call my evaluator first to share the evaluation resource and why she is evaluating me today. Toastmaster Lakshmi, could you please tell everyone why you're evaluating me and on what?
Yes, thank you so much, team of Toastmaster Chitrakshi, and a very good morning to all of you today. As a part of my evaluation role today, I would be evaluating Toastmaster Chitrakshi, who is attempting her project L4P1, which is L4P2, sorry, in the effective coaching path. And the name of the project is managing managing a meeting. The main purpose of this meeting is for the person to manage a meeting end to end, or to facilitate a meeting end to end, and to see how it would be done effectively. So with that, I would like to wish Team Mod all the very best. Your evaluation, the feedback points are already started right before the meeting itself. So I wish you all the best. You're doing a fabulous job. All the best.
Thank you, Toastmaster Lakshmi. I got to just do it. With that, I want everyone to please switch on the cameras, because you got to just do it, everyone. Come on, let's switch on our cameras. What is happening? We are 33 people in the meeting and barely 10 cameras are on. Ooh. You're all looking so lovely, perfect in the morning. Let's have the cameras on so that the speakers get slightly motivated. I know I get very motivated when I see cameras on. So yes, come on, just do it. Don't think so much. We're all looking fab, not trap, fab, okay? With that, let's get into our first section, which is the prepared speech section. The person I'm going to call now is the one who's attempting his evaluation as well. So this is a project that he's doing as well. And I think with the end of this, he will complete level 1. Is that correct? Toastmaster Ritvik, he is the evaluator 1, and he is also doing a project while evaluating someone. So that is how you know the fourth evaluate. That's where the fourth evaluator comes from. So Toastmaster Ritvik, over to you. Please tell us who you are evaluating and why.
Sure. So my target speaker is Pranav Pothan, who is attempting his third project in the L2 path for motivational strategy. The title of the project is Introduction to TM Mentoring, and the purpose of this project is for the member to clearly define how Toastmaster envisions mentoring, and for the member to share some aspect of a previous experience as a protege. So Pranav, I'm really looking after and keen to learn about your candor experience as a mentee in the past and how this has impacted in your journey. So all the best to you. And at the end, I will be back with my report.
Thank you, Toastmaster Ritvik. Toastmaster Pranav is attempting his speech. He has already gotten an award for the Gabbys, and I'm sure this one's going to get us some more awards. With that, the right mentor, Toastmaster Pranav. Toastmaster Pranav, the right mentor.
Pranav, you are an amazing storyteller and you have a clear voice. That was my mentor speaking to me after I had completed one of my speeches in the Toastmasters International. I remember a couple of months back, my weekend routine would be to carry a bag, take my vehicle, and visit the umpteen number of Toastmasters clubs in and around my area. Now, during one of those visits, the presiding officer came and made a wonderful announcement. Hello everyone, today we have a special session, an educational session on the basics of international speech contest by a person who has become a distinguished Toastmaster in just a span of 2 years, 3 months. Let us all welcome her. Now Toastmasters, my question to you is, any idea who that person was? She's from your club.
Nancy.
Nancy.
Yeah, you are right, Aparna. She was Nancy. Now, I was so amused to see a confident lady who came very boldly to the stage, and then she delivered a speech so eloquently that at that moment I was quite impressed. But what impressed me more was she always made a connection with Gabbys during that speech. She used to always mention about the Gabbys. At that time, I was wondering, wow, international speech contest. Wow, Gabbys Toastmasters Club. Wow, international speech contest. Wow, distinguished Toastmasters. This is so intriguing. I must really give a shot at this club. And then I decided to join Gabbys as a guest. I attended Gabbys as a guest, and now here, after a few months, I am standing before you as a member. Now, one day, I received a call. Hi, Pranav. This is me, Dhwani, your mentor from the Gabbys Toastmasters Club. Hey, Dhwani. It is so nice to meet you. I could sense so much energy and enthusiasm in her voice that I understood at that moment I had found the right mentor. My mentor said, Pranav, let's finish the icebreaker speech, fatafat. You choose the path and you call me. Dhwani used to set me targets which would help me achieving the larger goal of completing a big path, right? So she used to always give me those kind of tips. For instance, one day she called me and said, Pranav, I see a lot of enthusiasm in you. Come on, let's finish this path, this level by April 30th this month. But that was not all it. She used to always push me to achieve the maximum of my ability. One day she called and said, Pranav, tomorrow we have a speed slot at the JP Morgan Club. You take it and then we can complete the speed fast. There was so much enthusiasm in her voice that I couldn't refuse it. And I would go and give the speech. And after the speech, I used to feel so much happy. And not only that, a mentor needs to be quick and responsive. My mentor was very quick and responsive. I remember sometime back, I had an evaluation project in another club. And in the last moment, I found out that there was no evaluator for me. I was shocked. Dhwani, I just found out that there's no evaluator for me. What should I do? Dhwani said, Pranav, it's okay. I will be your evaluator and let's do it. I was relieved. But that does not mean she's going to encourage me all the time. She has to be critical sometimes because that would be beneficial for me in the long run. For instance, once I delivered an evaluation project in another club. I was expecting that I would clear that level with that. But she called and said, Pranav, let's redo this level. I feel you have been a bit critical at times. That is not good in the Toastmasters. I felt little bad at that time. But those inputs actually helped me when I did the project again. Toastmasters, I have never been in dearth of mentors throughout my life. Right from my childhood, my parents, teachers made me who I am today because of whom I am standing before you. But I have had shares of bad mentors too. Mentors who never had time for me when I had some doubts. Mentors who had lot of mentees around them. So much so that they never gave me individual attention. But in Dhwani, I found a mentor who would be available 24/7. A mentor who would push me to achieve the maximum of my limits, to overcome my glossophobia, and a mentor who would be through my thick and thin. Toastmasters, my message is that we are in the digital era, an era where there is no dearth of mentors. Just go online, click a website. There are people who will take money to give you mentorship. But sadly, most of them develop into a shallow mentor-mentee relationship. Right? Remember, friends are difficult to find. Good friends are rarest to find. But good mentors occur only once in a lifetime, once in a blue moon. Thank you and over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Pranav. The right mentor. Finding the right mentor. Well, you started your speech with my mentor. So I'm very thankful to bringing my mentor in the speech as well. Having said that, let's move on to the second evaluator. The second evaluator completed his level just last week. So he has gotten us an award as well last week. And with that, I want our second evaluator to tell us what is he really evaluating. Toastmaster Ayush.
Thank you so much, Rakshi. Good morning, everyone. My target speaker is Toastmaster Karthik. He's attempting his level 3 project 1 of Pathway Presentation Mastery. The project is persuasive speaking. The purpose of this project is for the member to understand the types of persuasive speeches and deliver a persuasive speech at a club meeting. I would be evaluating him and would present my evaluation at the end of the meeting. So all the best, Toastmaster Karthik. Back to you, KMD.
I'm muted, I realize. Toastmaster Karthik has completed 2 levels already and on his path to completing the 3rd level and winning that award for us. So before that, let's welcome Toastmaster Karthik for his speech today. We are here because you were there, Toastmaster Karthik. Toastmaster Karthik, we are here because you were there.
Good morning, students. Can anyone say me who is the father of Mughal Emperor Aurangzeb? Not this Zeb, Aurangzeb. Teacher, I know the answer. Okay. Stop jumping like monkey and answer the question, Karthik. Okay, so Aurangzeb's father was Shah Jahan. Shah Jahan's father was Akbar father was Humayun father was Babar, and Babar father was Timur. This was me, an over-enthusiastic pro-historian in my school. History subject is very, very close to my heart. And I feel I have been deeply absorbed into this ocean of history. An ocean filled with stories of great kings and queens. And I was introduced to this ocean by my very dear history sir, Krishnamurti sir. And he was like a magician who waved his wand of stories with his great, marvelous story narration skills. And I was stuck and dumbstruck listening to him. And since my schooling days, I had one wish of inventing a time machine so that I could travel back in history to witness the greatest events and personally interview kings and queens and throw Hitler into gas chamber as he did to Jews. But unfortunately, I couldn't invent time machine because I was not so bright in physics, because physics had calculations and numbers, and they had grudge on me. I didn't like Einstein's E is equal to mc square. No, I didn't like. But it's not like I hated all scientists. I liked one scientist, and that was Sir Isaac Newton. Because Sir Isaac Newton had a great story, a relaxing story. So one day, Sir Isaac Newton had a nice dum malu biryani. And after that, it is must to take a nap. So he took a nap under a tree, and then A for apple fell on him. And then he created 3 laws of motion. So such a nice story. But what if Sir Isaac Newton took a nap under a tree in Kabban Park? Instead of A for apple, B for bird's poop would have fallen on him. Yes, and instead of and all this theory of motion would have been based on how this poop fell straight on his head, and why not in zigzag motion? I'm serious about this because I usually go to Kabban Park on Sundays to jog, fitness. And one day I was coronated by these birds as their king, and I became their Pakshi Raja for one day. And if you also want to be Pakshi Raja and Pakshi Rani, please visit Kabban Park. But why am I talking about history today? Why is it so important? It's a fast junk food, right? Yes. So my history teacher once wonderfully said that history is always ignored by people. But people forget that history helps us understand how events in the past made things the way they are today. It reminds about the mistakes made in past, like what fascist Hitler did, and helps us to create better societies for our people. And he also reminded me saying that if you know history, you can create history. Let me defend my teacher's statements. History is not just about great kings and queens. It's also about the people who changed the dynamics of society, who shook the roots of injustice, and they are the great social reformers and leaders. And I like such 2 great leaders in American history. The first is Abraham Lincoln, who abolished the slavery of African Americans. But even after abolishing slavery, African Americans were not equally treated as whites. Then there came another great leader, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., who fought for the civil rights of Black Americans. So let me go through the events. Listen, take carefully. In 1865, Abraham Lincoln passed 13th Amendment to abolish slavery. And then after 100 years, then comes a Black leader, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., who succeeds in getting civil rights in 1964. And result and struggle of these 2 great leaders led Barack Obama becoming the first Black prime minister, first Black president of America in 2008. So from 1865 to 2008, events in the past made things the way they are today. We have such great social reformers and leaders in India, and such great social reformers like Raja Ram Mohan Rai, Dr. B.R. Ambedkar. Another great social reformer whom I respect and admire a lot is Savitribai Phule, a first female teacher of India. So she started educating girls during the time when women of India were completely denied of education, irrespective of class, caste, creed, and religion. So she started educating girls with her husband, Jyoti Rao Phule, who was another great social reformer. And they started educating girls, and her journey was not simple. You know, Savitribai Phule used to carry one extra sari to her school because on her way to school, there were some hypnotized zombies who were hypnotized with the belief that women should not get educated based on some age-old junk customs. And these hypnotized people used to pelt stones, garbage, and cow dung on her just to demoralize her will. And by the time she would reach school, she would be completely covered in all of this. And then she would change into a fresh sari and continue teaching girls. That was her dedication and determination. So listen to these events carefully. In 1848, Savitribai Phule opened the first school for girls in India. And then from there, women started getting educated. And the result of that in 1966, and we see many women leading our nation in 2023, from 1848 to 2023. Events in the past made things the way they are today. So we know that our society is still not completely perfect and reformed. Still we have issues, still we have loopholes. But the society which we are living in today is the filtered society from all of these social evils. And these social reformers acted as purifier in cleaning these social evils. And they teach us to be intolerant against injustice. And we are here today because they were there fighting against all odds just to make our lives better. Just to make our lives better and just to make our lives better and also give us a human rights. And sometimes it is important to know about such events which happened in history, so that one possible way of creating history is by knowing history. Over to you, Tima.
Let's create more history today. Because the next evaluator, not the speaker, but the next evaluator has not just won educational awards for us. She has won 3 division level awards for us. Come on, people. Evaluator 3, Toastmaster Aparna, tell us what you're doing today with the evaluation.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Chitrakshi. My target speaker today is attempting his level 4 project 1. The project is Motivate Others and his path is Motivational Strategies. The purpose of this speech is for the member to practice the skills needed to motivate team members through the completion of a project. And it is also imperative that the member shares some aspect of his experience motivating a team through the completion of a project. He has shared the supporting documents like the 360-degree evaluation from 2 of his team members, and I shall be evaluating him based on all of that. Thank you very much. And timer, please note, this is a 5 to 7 minute speech. Back to you, TMOD.
The speaker for today has completed 6 parts. Mind you, 6 parts. How? We are unable to complete 1. And he completes 6 parts. So take it from him, get motivated like he's going to motivate others, and just do it, people. So the next speaker, why do you do this? Toastmaster Saurav Datta. Toastmaster Saurav Datta, why do you do this?
That's exactly the question that people have been asking me since September 2020, because I've been doing kind of crazy stuff. I've conducted a table topic marathon along with a few other Toastmasters across the globe for 12 hours. 12 hours of non-stop table topic marathon, where 14 clubs from 12 different countries had participated, and we conducted it from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. in the night. As our team had mentioned, I have completed 7 parts, not 6, but 7 parts. And again, people ask me the same question, why do you do this? And then I went on to conduct something which is called the Division B Table Topic Mania. And again, the same question came up. Why do you do this? This time the question made sense, because the Table Topic Mania used to happen on Saturdays at 8 p.m. And this is how my Saturdays would typically look like. 10 a.m. to 12 noon is the Gabbys meeting. 4 p.m. to 5:30 p.m. is the meeting of another club of mine. And then 8 p.m. to God knows when is the Division B Table Topic Mania. And I was also a little flabbergasted, flustered at times that, is it totally worth it? Is it something that I can pull off? But then I had a great team to support me, some of whom are present at this meeting today. Toastmaster Nagesh Ramamurthy, Toastmaster Priyanka Ranode, Toastmaster Sakshi Singh, and Toastmaster Prashant Tiki. My 4 area directors came together and said, we will do it. And why will we do it? If you look at this meeting today, we have got 33 participants. How many table topics can we have? 6. Out of this 33, 10 will definitely want to speak. 2 will be in the fence sitters. They would like to speak, but they're not so courageous. How do we give them the opportunity to speak? And that was the idea behind the Table Division B Table Topic Mania. This entire thing was led by a gentleman called Shanko, who was my associate division director. He and this team of area directors, they put together a fabulous event, which happened week after week after week for 25 weeks, where people from across the world, I repeat, from across the world has to participate. It was such a well-executed event that one day I got a message from someone in Nepal. The only reason that I won at the division contest is because I was a regular participant at the Division B Table Topic Mania. Thank you, Saurav, for making a positive difference in my life. If all of these sounds really grand and gala to you, here's the bad news. All such bright pictures, the rosy pictures, were maybe 10 out of the 25 meetings. The rest of the 15 meetings, this is what used to happen. At 8 p.m. when I opened the room, it was me, Shanko, Nagesh, that's it. 8:05, it was me, Shanko, Nagesh, and Nancy. 8:10, it was 4 of us plus Aparna. 8:20, it was still the 5 of us. It was frustrating. Taking out of so much of time, so much of planning, putting a team together, creating the posters, creating the buzz, and then you've got 5 participants 20 minutes into the meeting, whereas we have got 33 participants in a club meeting. And I asked myself the question, why do you do this? In one such meeting, I had barely around 11 people in the room. And I was extremely frustrated that I need to probably close this. Is it at all worth it? I was pinging Shanko on WhatsApp. Shanko, should we really do this? Shanko said, Saurav, I also don't know. I think probably we should not do this. And I was chatting with him, sharing our frustrations. In the midst of this, one person joined this call. Let's say her name is Jill. Jill came into the meeting and something seemed off. She was not in a well-lit room, so I could barely see her. She was sitting there, and when she came in, she sent a message to me. Hi, send me the topic. There was no topic then, and I was not the TTM. What am I missing here? After that, she sent me a message again. Type topic. Type topic. That's the first. I ignored it. We do have Zoom bombers, by the way. Many who have come to the Gabbys as well. That's the reaction. You see the reaction buttons are muted. That's why you see the chats are restricted. And my first doubt was, this is a Zoom bomber. I ignored. After some time, one of the other participants, Rajiv, he said, Saurav, please send Jill the topic in chat. Rajiv was a regular participant. I was like, what am I missing? Why is Rajiv asking me to send the topic on chat? I said, well, fine. Let me send the topic on chat. Then Rajiv gave me a bouncer. He said, Jill would give the speech on chat. Jill would give a table topic speech on chat. Why? Who gives a table topic speech on chat? Who does a speech on chat, man? And I gave the topic because the TTM was facing some connectivity issues. So I gave the topic. It was a Halloween night, and Jill wrote something. Absolute gibberish. Made no sense. And then she came on camera properly. And her parents were right beside her. And I could see Jill was suffering from Down syndrome. I got goosebumps. Goosebumps all over me. I had a participant in my event who had Down syndrome, who couldn't speak. And she was here to speak. And so she wanted me to send the topic on chat so she could write down what she wanted to speak. I didn't know. She couldn't do the speech. So the TTM attempted the speech. He didn't do a good job. So I attempted the speech. I said, it was a Halloween night. I walked down. I saw a lady in white. The first time when the speech was given by the TTM, Jill's reaction was, second time when I gave the topic, she liked it. She was like, expression. That expression, when her parents held her like this, told me, this is why you do this. Saurav, this is why you do this. And this is why it's totally worth it. So all Toastmasters sitting here who was thinking that flashing that yellow, green, and red card behind you is all that is about Toastmasters, all the accountants sitting here and counting the R's and the ums, all the speakers coming here to complete that Pathways project. This is not why you do this. You do this for Jill and Jack and Daniel and Saurav and for each of us sitting here, because each of us have that something that we have been fighting without anyone beside us, and now we are with you. So that's why we do this. We do this for the Toastmasters pride. Toastmaster.
I'm so glad I'm the teamer today. I can comment on your speech without being your evaluator. My God, Saurav, everyone's put things on the chat box. You've got to read it. This is so sweet. Yes, you do motivate others. And from being a speech crafter to being here as a Toastmaster, it has a lot to do with you. So you must know that it's not just Jill and Jack and Saurav, it's also Chitrakshi right here who you've motivated quite a lot. With that, thank you. That was the end of the first section, the prepared speech section. Before we get into voting, Toastmaster Devyani, could you please tell us if all the speakers were within the time limit?
Does 7 minute, 27 second come under the time limit? Or
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
okay, then all the speakers are within the time limit.
By 3 seconds. Well, you can't expect anything less from Saurav. Having said that, everyone, Zoom Master, could we please have the polls? I don't think we can vote. Oh, yeah, I can't vote. My bad. Okay. We have quite a quick, fastest finger first are very quick here. I can see that. We're all very quick. And we're pretty much done with this. Are we? Zoom Master, are we good? Okay, perfect. Now, time for the second section. Before we get into the second section, which is the table topic section, you must know that the table topic section is also being evaluated because the table topics master is being evaluated. And she is being evaluated by none other than a Toastmaster who's already completed 5 parts because he did it. And he's completed 4 levels in this current path. So with that, Toastmaster Nagesh, would you please tell us what would you be evaluating today?
Thank you, Toastmaster. Good morning, everybody. Today, I'll be evaluating the table topic section, especially the table topic master, her role today. She's doing a project called as active listening. The purpose of this project is for her to demonstrate her ability to listen to what others say. This is a 20-minute project. So all the best to the table topic master. Over to you, Madam Toastmaster.
Thank you. With that, we are going to the next Toastmaster who has already gotten us 1 award by completing a level, and I'm sure she's going to get us more soon. With that, I would not wait any longer and waste anyone's time because I'm going to hand it over to the table topics master, Toastmaster Vijayalakshmi. Over to you, Toastmaster Vijayalakshmi.
Thank you, Toastmaster Chitrakshi. Good morning, fellow Toastmasters and guests. What an amazing speeches by all our speakers, isn't it? I know we all got engrossed in all the 3 speeches. Now it's time to get out of the listening mode and get into some action. Yeah, it's time to shake yourself and get alert now. Come out of the listening mode and get ready for yet another interesting segment of today's meeting. Table topics. Yes. Check yourself and come out. Get alert. Are you ready? Are you ready, everyone? I can't hear.
Yes. Yes.
Yes, we are ready.
Yes, we are
Yes.
ready.
Now I can see you all are becoming alert. Set ready. Now, before starting, let me tell you what is table topics. Table topics enable us to develop the skills of impromptu speaking. It trains us to quickly organize and express our thoughts. For the new table topic speakers, I'll tell you, you can think of the table topic speech as a mini speech with an opening, a body, and a conclusion. Okay, so as said earlier, each speaker is required to speak for 1 to 2 minutes with 30 seconds of grace period. This session is not restricted for the members alone. Even guests can also participate in this. And I hope everyone will give their shots. So, shall I call upon or anybody is volunteering? Okay. Okay. Who will be taking? Devashish? So before that, let me present my screen to pick the numbers. Yeah. Devashish, would you like to volunteer? Are you there?
Yeah, I'm there.
Yeah, pick any of the number.
3.
3. Okay. See, I'm a parrot. I can pick up an accent and just do it. Yes, you can start.
Just 1 second before starting. I mean, so do I have to mimic like a parrot or what?
No. How you are going to take it up? Like you can pick any accent, means it may not be the accent. It can be any situation also. And just do it.
Okay. Good morning, Toastmasters and the fellow guests. So, as the parrot who observes the thing and tries to pick up the accent or the words which his master is speaking to him. So, in a way, I generally look up at the things, whether it is in terms of playing or in terms of working. I basically check how the things are happening, and I try to indulge in my activities and try to improvise it. Sometimes acting as a parrot will not conjure a true sense of your will not conjure a right image of you, because you're not being honest, or you're not being yourself. You're just copying somebody else's activity. So it is important not being a parrot, but you learn from it, but you use your own imagination, your own thought process in terms of presenting yourself. So over to you, Toastmaster Vijay Lakshmi.
Thank you, Devashish. It was an amazing take. Like we need not be a parrot in picking the accent, but we have to think and process our thoughts. It was your takeaway from this, and it's nice. Even I think so. Sometimes we have to do that also. Now, coming to the next topic. Next volunteer who would like to take it, Sanjana?
Yeah.
Are you there?
Yeah, I am there.
Good to go. Can you pick the number? Which is your number?
Just a second. I would choose 5.
You choose 5. Okay, let's see what's there in the store for 5.
Yeah.
Don't complain, just do it.
Okay. Give me just 5 seconds.
Yeah, 5 seconds is fine. Sorry.
Okay. So I would like to explain an incident that happened when I was leading a team in school. So we had to finish a project, and then we were given 2 days to finish this project. So basically, the project was given as part of a maths assignment, and we had to make a. I was in class 7, and we had to make a model of a children's play area, demonstrating the various shapes that are there, and like we had to calculate the area, perimeter, and the volume of the various objects. So I'll tell you how one team member of mine completely ruined the entire project, and then it'll highlight the topic that you have given it to me. So I have assigned works to everyone, and I call this team member in the morning. I call the team member in the morning, and I ask him, "Ki, have you done this task?" And then she tells me, "Ki, I slept really late yesterday. I'll start after 1 hour." I'm like, "Okay, sure, I'll not disturb you." And then after 3 hours, nothing was done. And then after 3 hours, I called again. So that time, the time was it was around 11. And then she told me that today my mom's making breakfast really late because she came back late because she's not well. So I'll have my breakfast and then do it. So I'm like, okay, so I'll call you around 2 and you update me about the task. They're like, yeah, sure. And then I called her at around 3. And then she tells me, hey, I just got a message from my team, from my friend. There's a party at 4 o'clock. So I was preparing for that. I'm really sorry. The party ends at 6. So I'll start after 6. I'm like, okay, then I'll call you at 7. Then I called her at 7. And then when I called her, there's disco songs going all around her. And she's like, the party is still going on, bro. Can I finish it at 9? I'm like, okay, your wish. I call her at 9 and she doesn't pick the phone. And then I had to wake up the entire night and finish the entire project by myself with no contribution of my team member. But then the project was submitted by writing both of our names on the team member. And I wouldn't like to quote her name. So what I'm trying to say is, please don't complain because it's frustrating. We are in a team, so we all should work together. So please don't complain and just do it. Thank you.
Yes, Sanjana, it was a nice take. Even I have come across such times, like even at home also, like when we will be doing collectively something together and someone will draw back and I have to come up without complaining. These things happen with me also. I can connect with your saying. Yes, it was a nice speech for you, by you, sorry. Now, next, coming to the next one. Can I have the next speaker? Abigail, would you like to volunteer? Are you there? Abigail?
Am I audible?
Yeah, now you're audible. Yes.
Yeah, sure.
Please select your number.
8.
8, okay. Sorry. Don't quit, just do it. Don't quit, just do it.
Okay, just take 2 seconds. Every day, I think to myself, should I quit? 2 years back, I was married and I had to quit. I had to quit studying abroad. I just gave up because there was something to do in the family, right? So I had to quit that. But then I gained courage to stand up for myself. And, I thought I prepared for my exams, UPSC. So I just, sort of started off by preparing. And then I went on and on, to show my passion, which I was working for from when I was 18. I was working towards creating an ecosystem which is inclusive and, promoting equity. In all of the works I do and all of the conversations I created with people, that's the only aim I wanted. So what I did was, when I was 19, when I passed out from my master's, I went to a fellowship called Gandhi Fellowship, where it was, working in the interiors of India. I just decided to do it, where, equity can be promoted through inclusive education. Why should I work for those children? Why should I work for those children? Because when I stayed with them in the interiors of Maharashtra, the tribal district, when I stayed in their houses, there were tears in my eyes because hardly they were eating food. There were no schools. There were schools without infrastructural goodness. And there were a lot of traumatic situations. They couldn't go to schools because there were no road facilities. There were so many things which were stopping them. They had to catch a boat because there were floods. I mean, the rains would cause floods. And this is not India from 16th century, it's India in 2018. So those children always push me to do it. But then I quit. Why did I quit? Because of a relationship? No. I thought I should pursue it. I thought I should bring in the candor in me. And I decided to do it. Yes, I got pregnant. And when I got pregnant with the, with the weight on my womb, I had to sit down and study for hours. And then I realized I lost like 4 marks to pass the UPSC prelims. And I was shattered. And then I still pursued to do it, but I had an issue that I had to, get a job. But I had to get a job where I have to pursue my passion. So I started working for a film company, which works for children and which helps them, help them develop in their life skills. So I wanted to pen my passion. Therefore, I started doing it even after I had a baby. That's how over to you.
Yes, thank you, Abhigil. You just continue to do without quitting, whether you quit earlier your higher studies, losing your UPSC by 4 marks, but you still continue to do what's your passion. Keep doing it always. I think everyone should keep doing what's their passion, and they will not quit anything, and they will be pursuing their goals in life. Yes. Now, coming to the next speech, let me share. Is there Preeti online?
I am Vijaya, but there are many other people who have raised their hands.
Okay.
Thank you.
Jitendra?
Yeah, I can try. Yes.
You can try? Yeah. Can you pick any of the number?
7. 7 is my lucky number. You can see in my mobile, even my class roll number as well.
7?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's see what's there in the store. Yeah, what is one thing you have been procrastinating on? And how can you use the just do it mentality to accomplish it? I'll repeat, what is one thing you have been procrastinating on? And how can you use the just do it mentality to accomplish it?
Yeah. I think one thing which I have been procrastinating for so long is meditation. Being in a leadership position, it is very important that you have a clarity of thoughts and how things are revolving around you. So the clarity is most important thing. And I read about it and I thought maybe I'll start meditation today, tomorrow, day after tomorrow, maybe next week, next month. Maybe I'll go for join some meditation course, but it never happened. And I thought, now I'm losing sight of it. I thought, let me take a decision. And I set an alarm every day at 9:30 p.m. that I have to do meditation, irrespective of whatever circumstances, whichever location I am in. And I started with 1 minute, and then slowly it became 2 minutes. Then it became 5 minutes. Then it reached to 10 minutes. And after 10 minutes, 15 minutes, then it became 20 minutes. So that helped me evolving myself as a better person with a better clarity of thoughts. And definitely it improved me as an individual. So if you want to improve yourself, if you want to just get a grip of things which you really want to do, set a timeline and set a reminder so that you don't lose focus out of it, and just do it. Over to you, Janakshmi. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Jitendra. Even I'm in line with procrastinating my meditation thing. So you have got the solution now, like how we can avoid and accomplish it by just doing it. Even I'll try to adapt it from you. I'll take it as a tip of the day from you to inculcate my meditation regime. Thank you. Last one. May I call Ram Patro? Ram Patro? Are you there?
Yeah, I'm there, Vijayalakshmi.
Okay. Please pick up the number.
It is 6.
6.
Number
Okay.
6.
Sixth one. It is what we should be doing right now. It is what we should be doing right now.
Okay. Just give me 5 seconds. I'll think about it.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So everybody has dreams and passion, dreams, and they have a goal to achieve. There is a future they look out for, and they focus way ahead for their future, and they generally don't focus on the now. And that is where they seem to lose out their entire objective of living their life, achieving achieving things in career or in the personal life. It is the same with me. I am actually in an autopilot mode, and to take things in my control. I right now, since last few days, my goal is to focus on the present and do what is required to be done in the current moment. If I don't do that, I don't see the direction. If you don't know the way you want to go, it doesn't matter where you're leading up to. That is the quote which I read, and I see that it is hampering my growth, my perspective. So to focus on my success and my achievement, my happiness, I need to find myself out, and then I have to focus on the far future. So what matters is what you do right now. Your success, your happiness, everything will be dependent on what you do right now. Uh, so you can bring in meditation, you can bring in uh, uh, watching movies or anything which you do for yourself. Take self-care, then you focus on the other things. Things will fall in place, and it will happen eventually. uh, it is like growing 1% every day and achieving that 37% in a year, uh, which I think most of you would have read in Atomic Habits. So focus on the one thing and do it right now, and then you can go to the next step, then the third step, fourth step. Incremental growth is always better than uh, a sudden success, because that will always be lasting forever. Over to you. Thank you.
Thank you, Ram. I think many of us will agree in the meeting room today. Like we will have the defined goals set, and concentrating on the things what we want rightly, we lose the later part. So it's more important to concentrate on the present and focus on the present so that we can achieve our goal and we can succeed in our life. Thank you, Rampatro. I think this was the last topic, keeping the time in interest. Let's end the table topic. It was a good attempt by all the table topic speakers, and also your perspectives were good on the topic. I enjoyed it. Maybe considering the parrot's accent, like how you will take up the topic on the personal note, or whatever it is, like maybe what we should be doing right now, focusing on the present. All these things are really condoring speeches by our table topic speakers. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you so much, Table Topics Master. You have pretty much covered everything that I should have in Just Do It, but I didn't have the time. You did well. Thank you so much for taking up my role as well. Toastmaster Lakshmi, please note, I have extended my roles, so I get more points for it. Having said that, Timer, could you quickly tell us if all the table topic speakers were within the time limit?
No, speaker 2 and speaker 3, TM Sanjana and TM Abigail respectively, have crossed 2 minutes 30 seconds. So I don't think they're eligible for the voting.
Perfect. Thank you. Thank you for letting us know. Zoom Master, please launch the polls. Please note 2 table topic speakers were not within the time limit, hence have been disqualified. Having said that, I must tell you that when you are a team org, you're constantly getting messages saying, oh, time is up, be careful, be mindful, and so on. But despite all of that, there is this one message that is bothering me quite a bit. And that message is not written, it's a visual message. Visual communication at that. Suddenly I'm looking at Toastmasters sort of to make sure that we are within time. So just like working around it. And there appears a hand, feeds him something, and gone. And I felt so hungry in that minute. I wanted more. I also wanted that food. Saurabh, not fair. You're reminding us of time. What about the food? We need that too. So just do it, You have food, you see food, just eat it. Similarly, a lot of things are happening around doing the awards, getting our awards, getting the educational awards, completing our speeches, having a good problem. If you have all noticed, we've pretty much been having TTM as a project, or the Table Topics Master is definitely a project. Even TMOD is a project. Every time we are running after evaluators because we need to find projects and we need speed slots and we want to complete our projects. For those who are doing it, excellent. For those who need a little push, just do it. Well, okay, let's end the polls. I think we've already gotten the voting that we needed. With that, we are headed to the third section, which is the evaluation section. But before I call the first evaluator, I am going to call the evaluator of the first evaluator to tell me exactly what she would be evaluating. Now, this Toastmaster has also received one award this year, the one educational award already, and I'm sure a lot of others are in the pipeline. With that, Toastmaster Neha Jain, could you please tell us what you are evaluating?
I will just be evaluating the evaluator. So the evaluation that he gives for the speaker will be evaluated by me. That's as simple as I can put it.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Neha. My God, so many evaluations. With that, Toastmaster Ritvik, please evaluate speaker number 1.
Thank you. So I'm going to keep my evaluation into 3 parts. Number 1, how my target speaker Pranav did in terms of meeting the objective. So, and number 2, what I feel he did really well. And number 3, what are the areas where he can further improve on. So Pranav, with respect to completing the objective, kudos to you in terms of completing the project with flying colors. So we really got a gist of how the mentoring, how being a mentee, and how has your experience been, and where are you in this journey with respect to the mentee. Now, there are 3 things that I really want to call out. The first is that how you cover the different aspects of being a mentee, and how, for example, your mentor kept on pushing the envelope for you, and you made her enthusiasm wore off on you, and you went the different anecdotes that you shared. I also like that how you made it very visual, like the range of gestures that you have, for example, that, hey, I am speaking in this different event and my evaluator is not there, and how then your mentor comes to your rescue. So you covered that aspect. Apart from this, you also covered the critical aspect of being a mentor, right? Now, there were times when she said that, hey, you do not meet the bar, you redo it. There were times when you felt bad, but then it helped you in your long journey, right? So a job very well done in terms of covering the different aspect, making it personal to you, and making us really, we could all relate to this, right? That how a good mentor is impacting you. Now, what I also liked is that how right from the start you had us on the hook. You had a great start, and then also at the end you ended up very strongly with the quote. Now one thing which I was thinking that, hey, why is the topic the right mentor when you're talking only about one mentor? So you also connected to the topic back very well at the end, where you said that it has not been just in one shot that you got the right mentor, right? I mean, you talked about your past, and also so a job very well done in terms of connecting to the past mentors as well, and speaking of the different aspects. Now, coming to the next section, which is some of the areas of improvement. What I felt personally is that although you have a great variety of gestures and the vocal variety, one place where I felt that sometimes you were coming too close to the camera, which I personally felt distracting at times. And maybe we can just check what is the right mix and what's the right distance. Now, similarly, one thing which I was also probably looking to see that the pathway you have chosen is the motivational strategy pathway. So one aspect which I was also looking to understand that where are you in this journey of your meeting the Uber objective? You touched upon this aspect as well. Apart from that, I think at the end, for example, you used the vocal varieties very well, but at the end, beautiful quote was there, but I couldn't recollect now. I think probably they could be repeating that, or using the pauses more effectively. So to summarize, overall a great speech. I think you're already a great speaker, but with a little bit of these nitpicks, you can also take it to the next level and even be more impactful. So back to you, G.
Back to me, Timon. Thank you, Toastmaster Ritvik. With that, I'd like to call upon the second evaluator for today. Do we have Toastmaster Ayusha?
Yes. Okay. Thank you, Toastmaster Akshi. So, Toastmaster Karthik, your speech started with a lot of enthusiasm, enactment, and humor, which helped in grabbing the attention of the audience from the start. Your body language was positive, your tone was positive, and this helped in keeping everyone interested throughout the speech. Now, coming to the stories. The stories you used were well known to everyone. When you talked about the Mughal thing, Einstein, the Hitler, everyone knew that. So everyone could connect to them easily. and you added a bit of humor to it, giving them a twist like gassing Hitler and replacing apple with bird poop. So that helped to set a tone for your speech. Then, in accordance to the object of the speech, that is persuasive speaking, you first told what you wanted to convey, that it is history is important, that people often forget history, but history is what helps us understand the past and use it in the present. Then you came to various leaders of the past, how they impacted things. You talked about Martin Luther King and other leaders, and then you came to the main protagonist of the story, that is Savitri Bai Phule and her story of starting to educate girls in her country. You talked about her struggles, how she faced issues when going to her work, and how her success happened. Then you connected it back to your topic, that how it led to today women leading, and again stated that this is how that it has helped to impact what is happening in the present. Now, coming to a couple of improvements, you took a lot of names in between, which might have confused some audience. So it might have been better to take fewer names and then directly come to the protagonist. Second thing is the conclusion could have been a little bigger, because somewhere I felt that it ended a little abruptly. So if you could have included more points in your conclusion pertaining to the purpose of the speech, you could have used some more emotions of how the struggle helped, how she struggled, and uh, how that motivated women today in leading society. That could have also added bit more to your power of persuasion. So overall, a great speech. Just adding on a little bit of conclusion, adding a little more power in the conclusion would have helped it to become a lot more persuasive, I feel. So that was all from me. Back to you, TMOD.
Thank you, Toastmaster Ayush. Let's invite upon Toastmaster Aparna, the evaluator chief for Toastmaster Saurav.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Chitrakshi. Toastmaster Saurav, your speech was full of emotions today, and we all know emotions are at the core of motivation. And it was so full of it today that everyone listening to it was motivated. I think motivational strategies, point achieved. The best part for me was today that, see, you are a strong speaker with excellent delivery and an equally compelling content, something we've seen every single time. But today you brought in an instrument of extreme voice modulation and body language, something you don't use often. And I wouldn't even have thought of it as your forte before today. But today you did that, especially when you showed us how Jill reacted in those two scenarios. I don't think I can even replicate it. Fabulously done. And that little part which you did today gave your speech the superpower and pushed it into motivation par excellence. Fabulously done. Was voice modulation and body language. I have to point it out. And that was the highlight of your speech today. I also want to commend you on how you opened your speech. When the TMOD for the day said, why do you do this, Toastmaster Saurav? You took the title and started your speech. And you said, yes, Toastmaster, a lot of people ask me that question. Very well done. It caught my attention. It said, oh, that's a good way of starting a speech, right? I'm going to probably use it too. So I loved that little technique you brought in there. Now, quickly moving on to the recommendations. Now, a speech which motivated everyone. We had goosebumps and all of that. Absolutely right. That cannot be denied. However, one of the aspects of your speech was to tell us how you motivated others in your team as well, right? It was a part of your evaluation. Now, yes, you told us about your team members and you shared that story of how demotivated they were, how you were, the reality of it all, and how that little incident changed your perspective and told you why you had to motivate, gave you the reason to remain and do it. Now, I wish you had shared how that translated into motivating your team as well. Yes, there is implied motivation. They were also there in the meeting. They were also just as motivated as you. But since it is specifically mentioned, I wish you had told us a little bit after and said, oh, after that meeting, we all sat down and we simply couldn't speak. We had found the reason or something like that, built up on it and told us how that motivation in that speech translated into motivating your team members. And that little aspect was what I think could have been added. Another observation I had was when speaking about a differently abled person, very sensitive topic, and you handled it really well with perfect amount of sensitivity. It could have gone grossly wrong had you not done it right. Everything was perfectly landed. Just one little observation, maybe bringing it to your notice. Suffering from Down syndrome is not the right usage, simply because it's not a disease, Down syndrome or any disability. We would say had Down syndrome because it's a condition, simple as that. So just pointing it out there. And other than that, what more can I say? We've all got our dose of motivation for the rest of the year. Fabulously crafted speech with the right amount of voice modulation, superpower there in the extreme dramatics. I just wish you had told us the aftermath of what that motivation did to your team as well. With that, thank you for motivating. Back to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, Toastmaster Aparna. With that, let's invite our fourth evaluator, Toastmaster Neha Jain. Are you here? It's time for you to evaluate. Yeah, she's right here. Toastmaster Neha?
Yes, I'm here.
We can't see. Yeah. Okay.
All right. Good morning, Gabbys. And a very good morning to my the person who I'm supposed to evaluate, Toastmaster Ritvik, and his target speaker, Toastmaster Pranav. Now, Ritvik, your evaluation was absolutely on point. You covered a lot of important aspects, and the way you did it, in the beginning, you set the agenda, the objectives right. You're gonna, have 3 sections. You're gonna divide it into 3 parts: improvements, scope for, what he did best, scope for improvements, and summarizing it. I think that's one of the best techniques that can be used while doing an evaluation. And that was on point. While you pointed out everything that Pranav did remarkably well, what I felt was, whenever there is an evaluation given, what's the point of an evaluation? To point out what the speaker did best, and also to point out what he could improve, as we call it in Toastmasters. So what I felt was your emphasis on what he did best was a lot more than your emphasis on what he could have done better. And while evaluating, it always helps if you give out a lot of examples, right? For instance, while Toastmaster Pranav is an absolutely energetic speaker, his energy sometimes fails to, for the right pauses and paces, right? He just gets carried away with that energy and he fails to pause. So you could have given an example. There was an instance in his speech where he said, oh my God, I entered a meeting and Toastmaster Dhwani was not there. There could have been a pause there. So pointing out such examples would help your target speaker to get a notch higher, right? All in all, you covered all the aspects, just that throw in a little bit more examples, a little bit more criticality. Considering that Toastmaster Pranav has already given 5 speeches and this being his 6th, I think it's time that we start giving him critical feedbacks rather than just telling him what he did great. So yeah, all in all, you covered a lot of points, but yes, just get a little bit more critical with your evaluations. Yeah, back to you, Toastmaster today.
Thank you, Toastmaster Neha. Let's invite our 4th evaluator, Toastmaster Nagesh. Toastmaster Nagesh, all yours.
Thank you, Toastmaster. Evaluating table topic master Toastmaster Vijayarashmi today. I strongly believe those who keep their fine foot forward firmly cannot be challenged. And I saw that today happening with the table topic master, taking up the role and also doing the project. I could see the preparation that she has made and giving out those 5 topics to the speaker. Beyond that, she also did her active listening and what did I enjoy in listening to her after the speaker spoke is like this. Emphasizing speakers' experience is very important part of active listening. And Toastmaster Vijayarashmi, you did that very, very well. To give you an example, after Toastmaster Jitendra spoke, you said, I am going to take this as a tip and going to implement it in my own life about procrastination when he spoke. It clearly showed that you were actively listening to the speaker and there is a takeaway for you. Secondly, there was a point when you summarized a speaker's speech and you said, I'm sure many of us will agree that focusing on the current times is very important and leads us to the long-term goal. So these were the two areas I felt was very, very conspicuously, I could see that coming out from you, Toastmaster. Third and most important requirement of active listening, respect the point of view of the speaker. And you did that very, very well. Nowhere in the 5 speeches when you spoke after that, I saw you giving your own point of view and stepping on the point of view of the speaker. Very, very well done over there, Toastmaster. Now, I would like to give you 2 recommendations on the listening skills. Now, when Toastmaster Sanjana spoke, there were a lot of places where there were lows that she was speaking about in her topic. There could have been a side note where you could have said how you felt listening to her. Emotionally, were you charged? Were you moved? Did you take it emotionally somewhere? You could have mentioned that a little bit as to how listening to her made you feel. That was one point I thought I will share that with you. And I never saw you showing a bit of interest in the speaker when they were speaking. And leaning forward, making some micro expression and repeating some key words from their speech would also show that you are keenly listening to the speakers. Great job done as table topic master today and active listening that you did today. I wish you take more and more evaluations in the club of the speakers' speeches. All the best to you. Over to you, topic master.
Thank you. With that, it's time for my evaluation. Toastmaster Lakshmi, Evaluator 6. The floor is all yours.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the Day, Toastmaster Chitrakshi. It's like a big warning. Come on there. I'm ready for it. Wonderful. Thank you so much. That's the kind of spirit we want in the meeting. And thank you, Chitrakshi, for bringing it throughout the meeting today. For me, I strongly believe as the anchor, as the MC, or as somebody who conducts the meeting, we need to have 4 basic qualities. I would call it the PPAE. P is to be proactive. The second P would be to be present. A would be to be assertively in control, and E to do all of this with elegance. And did I see these in you today? Let's see it one by one. We'll start with the second P, which is to be present. Yes, you were totally and thoroughly present throughout the meeting. You were present as in the camera, and also you had reactions and responses for everything that was happening in the meeting. It was not like you had a script ready and you were just following that. You were impromptu, including what you did with DTM Saurav's, that little food that was coming in there. Yes, that was amazing. Second point is to be assertively in control. You're like the queen here. You set the rules and you just sit back, but you still ensure that everything goes on time. And that's what you did today. You had your rules set. You were watching on everybody. You were assertive when you had to be. But at the same time, I wish I know time is always a small factor here with the Gabbys meeting. And I also saw that probably to cut down on your presence on screen, you might have probably reduced your speaking time. I think you did that so that we don't go too much overboard. Applauses for that, because that's how you can, still keep things under control. Coming to the P about being proactive. Now, this is one area where I would suggest it as an area of improvement, your proactiveness. Now, this proactiveness comes before the meeting started. Yes, so I joined the meeting, I think about 10 minutes ahead of time, and I saw you were present there. But there were two things that I noticed that I wish it was slightly better, and that's where the proactiveness comes into play. One, there was a change in the presiding officer, and probably you were not aware of that because it was a last minute change. However, since you are the team mod, I wish you had probably contacted the ExCom that day today in the morning to just recheck if everything is on, as per the schedule. Because at the end of the day, we are all humans. We have last minute changes that happen. Yes. So that is one proactiveness that I wish you had taken care of. The other one was you were, as much as I appreciate the fact, the resources, the evaluation resources. Are you able to hear me?
Now I am, yes.
Yeah. So I wish what you had done was kept the agenda open and just check with them if the resources are already available there. Because that way you would have saved some time and probably used that time for, some. But overall, let me say, this meeting was filled with elegance and happy, cheerful day to day. Very well done, and congratulations on completing your project. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Lakshmi. With that, I can take a breather. Now I'm finally in control without any evaluation left. Okay, well, having said that, 3 of our sections are over, but nonetheless, we have the 4th section, which is very important because, well, everyone is being scrutinized and I'm not alone in it. So this is the general evaluation section, and I'd like to call upon our general evaluator to take over and tell us what we can do better.
Can you
But
take
before that, I would want...
Yeah, for the evaluations, and you have to launch the evaluation poll.
Oh, yes. Thank you. See, Toastmasters sort of missing and I get scared. Or maybe my evaluation done, so I'm just having fun. Okay. Timer, were all the evaluators within time?
The first evaluator, TM Ritvik, and the last evaluator, TM Lakshmi, went overboard.
Went over. Okay. Zoom Master, please launch the polls.
You went over.
Let us all fill in our evaluations. Let's not fill in our evaluations, but let's vote in the poll. Everyone, let's quickly do this so that we can have the general evaluator. And I would like all of us to please switch on our cameras. Just do it, everyone. The general evaluator.
You are not audible.
Oh, I'm not audible?
In between.
Better? Okay, I'm saying just switch on the video so that all of us can hear from the general evaluator together. We are together in it. With that, over to you, general evaluator, Toastmaster Simam.
Thank you, Toastmaster Chitrakshi. Good morning, everyone. Once again, wasn't this the most beautiful start to the weekend? Well, beautiful for you all, definitely. A task is perfectly done when the evaluators, they become difficult. And today was the most difficult one for me. Beautiful for you all, difficult for me. So here's my evaluation. Before I give it away, I would request my Taggle team to share their report. I would like to call upon stage Toastmaster Devyani, our timer for today, to share her timer report.
Greetings, everyone. I will just copy paste screen the reports for today. I think everyone had lots to say today. I mean, time is of essence in this meeting. So I hope from next time, everyone will keep in mind to not cross the limit. Nevertheless, it was a wonderful meeting today, and I loved what everyone had to say.
Thank you, Toastmaster Devyani, for the report, for the detailed report. Moving on to our counter for the day, Toastmaster Nitesh, could you please share a report?
Sure. Let me share. Are you able to see? I try to give my best, but sometimes, listening those stories, right? It's very difficult to go to from this corner to this corner, write down, increase the count, and listen also. Today, I realized that this role is like very difficult role. So, yeah, thanks. I will share this report, or do I need to upload on the portal where each team members we can select and we can upload these numbers, right?
I believe you can just share it in the chat box.
Okay.
Toastmaster
Alright.
Nitesh.
Thank you. I will stop sharing.
Thank you for the detailed report, Toastmaster Nitesh. Moving on to our grammarian for the day. Toastmaster Jyoti, could you please share your report?
Yes. I noted some good usages. I am taking grammarian role for the first time in Gabbys, so I'm not aware of the format, but extremely upbeat today, drives the education, fire in the belly, hit the ground running, another level of energy, death with courage, under the radar, once in lifetime, awestruck, witness the great events, dynamics of the society, social reformers, flabbergasted, promoting equity, pen my passion, perfect amount of sensitivity, fabulously crafted, assertively in control, elegance. Nobody used the word of the day. If anyone did, I didn't notice that. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Jyoti. Moving on to our listener for the day.
Okay, thank you, Ji. Hope everyone are listening to me, right? Everyone listening to the entire meeting, right? Hope everyone are attentive, right? Today. It's now testing time. What is Toastmaster of the day? Toastmaster Chitrakshi's current path. Not Chitrakshi shouldn't answer. Other than Chitrakshi, anyone should answer. What is her current path?
Effective coaching.
Effective coaching. Yeah, yes, DTM Saurodatta.
I make the posters, no?
Sorry?
I make the posters for the club.
Okay. How old is Toastmaster Nitish's daughter? Not
4
Nitish. Yeah.
4 years.
4 months.
Yeah. How long Toastmaster Pranav is in Gabbys?
Since December.
Yeah.
2000.
3 months or something? 2 months or 3 months?
Yeah.
2 months.
Who is the first female teacher in India?
Savitribai Phule.
Savitribai
Phule.
Okay. If you want to meet Pakshi Raja and Pakshi Rani in Bangalore, where should we go?
Carbon Park.
How many paths DTM Saro has completed till now?
7.
How many paths Toastmaster Ragesh Ram sir has completed till now?
6.
5.
This is his 6.
5.
Yeah.
Right now he has completed 5 paths. For how many marks Toastmaster Abigail lost UPSC?
Four.
Four. Who is Toastmaster Picks your letter?
Toastmaster Neha.
And last question.
I wasn't sure.
Who is DTM? What is DTM Saurav's current path?
Leadership.
Motivational
Motivational strategy.
Fantastic. I think Aparna is the one who is listening to throughout the meeting. I can. Over to you, GE.
Thank you, Sri Lakshmi, for such an interactive session. And you are indeed a very good listener. Moving on with my report. Where do I start? Today's session was like a web. One evaluator, one speaker, another's evaluator, there's another speaker. It felt like a web. I'll start with our Sergeant at Arms, Toastmaster Ganesh. You explained the roles perfectly. You laid the ground rules so well and made sure that even the guests who have joined today, they are very well aware of how a Toastmasters meeting happens and what are the protocols. Just a point of improvement for you. You are the first one to take on stage. You made sure that the meeting starts on time. We started dot at 10 a.m. Kudos to the entire team for making it happen. Just a point of improvement. When you take on stage, start with a smile. That energy, it should flow to each and every attendee, which was missing at the beginning, but then you caught up with it later at a later point. Moving on to the presiding officer, Toastmaster, distinguished Toastmaster Saurav, what do I say? You're exactly what we need. You were on top of your game today. Great energy, great start, and you not only you were there in the beginning, but throughout the session, you made sure that you're responding to the messages, keeping everyone on track with time, and also posting important notes in the chat box. Great job done, distinguished Toastmaster Saurav. Moving on to our Toastmaster of the day. Your energy is infectious, girl. Keep that always. You had such a beautiful flow throughout the meeting. Just what we need on a Saturday morning. The transitions were so smooth. And throughout the session, what I have observed that you are a great observer and a listener. You made sure that you're able to connect each and every segment beautifully. Amazing job done by you, Toastmaster Chitrakshi. Moving on to our speakers for the day. Speaker 1, Toastmaster Pranav. Your evaluator, Toastmaster Ritvik, has covered all the points in his evaluation. To my evaluator, Toastmaster Ritvik, a very positive feedback what I have heard today. I just have a point of recommendation for you first, and then I'll share it about the speaker. For you, it was that if we can reduce the examples being taken by the speaker, repeating what the speaker says, this will help you in saving time, and it fetches you time to wrap your evaluation better. At the end, your summation was a bit rushed, and I missed on that point. And to my speaker, as the evaluator said, that you stressed a lot on what the right mentor is and who is a wrong mentor. I wish you would have brought forward a point that how you had hit the right chords with your mentor and how it just did not work with the other mentor. I felt that this point was missing in your speech, but overall a very well-rounded speech from the evaluator as well as the speaker. Good job done, Toastmaster Ritvik and Toastmaster Pranav. Moving on to my second evaluator, Toastmaster Ayush, and who was evaluating Toastmaster Karthik. Toastmaster Ayush, your evaluation had a very good structure. You started with the body language and the stories. What I missed here was again the summarization at the end of it. It was again very rushed, and you just said a sentence and you summarized it. I wish you would have, after saying the points of improvement, you had taken time in summarizing the evaluation. That would have left the speaker on a high. And coming to Toastmaster Karthik, none of us have ever liked the history classes, but today's was so different. For a change, we loved the history speech, and you gave us a reason to like it and get inspired. As said by the evaluator, too many examples were being used, so you left the audience's thought running here and there, and people might lose interest over there. Also, the conclusion was rushed. If you would have taken lesser examples, then it would have helped you in getting more time towards the conclusion of your speech, and it could have been concluded in a better way. Coming to the next evaluator and speaker. This was one segment which I had the toughest time today. Toastmasters Saurav. Why do you do this? Today's speech was so inspirational. At one point of time, I had a tear in my eyes. I had become really emotional. And today, your speech was the highlight of today's meeting. You have shared such an inspirational story that this is one thing that I will take it back. And whenever I feel low in my Toastmasters journey, I'll always connect back to this speech. That is how you have left us today. Such an amazing speech, and the same kind of job done by Toastmaster Aparna. What stood out in your evaluation was that you have pointed out that how well it was done and how it could have been done better, and you elaborated on those points, that why it needs to be done in that way. It helped the audience understand that why exactly it is needed. We are sharing the points of improvement, but why is it needed? It will help the audience incorporate those points in their speech at later point of time. Thank you so much for that. Moving on to our fourth evaluator for today, Toastmaster Neha. Your speech had you again are a great listener, and you have shared points that what could have been done better in Ritvik's speech. I wish you would have had a better structure to your evaluation. You could have started with what he has done really good in his speech and then moved on to what can be done better. And after seeing the red card, the summarization was a bit rushed. I wish that it could have been done a better one, but great job done. Our fifth evaluator, Toastmaster Nagesh. Your evaluation was a true example of what a keen listener should be like. You are such a great listener, Toastmaster Nagesh. You have covered it all. Your evaluation had such a great structure. You started with all the highlights of the table topic session, which was being evaluated today. Then you brought forward the points of improvement, and then you had taken time to summarize the entire evaluation. You did a great job, and you ended it on a high note. Good job with that. Moving on to my evaluator six, Toastmaster Lakshmi. Toastmaster Lakshmi had brought forward a very different way of evaluation, where she was she had tried to put different points in one bucket, and that's how she took it forward. And Toastmaster Lakshmi, hats off to your dedication. You were out somewhere, but you took this call and you've taken an evaluation. Great job done there. uh, I could not get all the points which you were trying to share. Maybe there was a lag in the video, or maybe because it was after seeing the red card, it became a bit rushed and you missed sharing few points of your evaluation. But if you just keep a track of time, again, a great evaluation what we have seen today from you. Coming to our table topic, Master Toastmaster Vijay Lakshmi. This was such a well conducted table topic session. What you excelled at was the energy level, keeping everyone engaged in the audience. And I loved the way you had aligned your topics to the theme of the day. Also, there was a very smooth flow between one topic to the other. You made sure that you are connecting the dots everywhere. One point of improvement for you is that in the beginning, when you were starting with the table topic session, I wish you would have explained a bit that what needs to be done there. You were showing numbers, and you could have explained a bit that when you choose a number, there'll be a slide shown with the topic, and you can take time to think about that, and then you can start with the table topic. um, Whichever speaker comes on stage, they could have done that. Also, in the beginning, instead of taking names directly, ask people to volunteer. Give them a little bit of time to volunteer. And you can use a sentence like, if you don't volunteer, then you will be put on spot by me. I'll be selecting the table topic speaker. This will help you in getting volunteers. At a later point of time, there were few volunteers who had raised your hand, but probably because you were sharing your screen, you were not able to do that. You could not see it. So a point of improvement, whenever you share your screen, You can ask your volunteers to unmute themselves and volunteer, or else you can ask the TMOD to help you out with that if they see any volunteers in the audience. Coming to my table topic speakers, Toastmaster Devashi's such a beautiful take on the topic of how not to be a parrot. Just one point of challenge you can challenge yourself in the next table topic session is that try to be a bit closer to the red card. Kudos to you of crossing the yellow card, but then take a little bit of time to gather your thoughts and talk a little bit more about the topic in the next table topic session. Moving on to Toastmaster Sanjana, you have a you are a beautiful budding storyteller, I would say. I would encourage you to build on those skills and just be mindful of time. And you were just over time because you were so engrossed in that story. But next time, if you be a bit mindful, you will do a great job. You have great voice modulation and you have that ability to capture everyone's attention. Toastmaster Abigail, for you, what stood out was you have a very calm voice and you have the ability to motivate the audience. You have shared such a personal story today, and kudos to you. Build on these skills. You're a very passionate speaker. Again, for you, the point of improvement would be that keep a tab of time. When you see the yellow card, that's your cue to move slowly towards the end of your speech and you start concluding your speech. Toastmaster Jitendra, procrastination, a lovely take on the topic. We all do it every single day. And thank you for sharing your thoughts today. Moving on to Toastmaster Ram, you just did not talk about the topic, but you also gave us a solution of how to do it. What I would love to see is in your speech would be a bit more of voice modulation and your happy face on camera. It helps in capturing the audience's attention. And moving on to my Taggle team. My timer for today did a wonderful job, and just it would have been better if tips can be shared on how to stay on time, how we can round up wind up a speech on time. If that could have been shared, the report would have been a bit better, but amazing job done there. Moving on to our counter, the spreadsheet was made so well with graphs, and we have hit a century. That's fine, we'll work on it and make sure that next time we improve on those points. But great job done. What you could have done better was if you could have walked us through it a bit and give tips of how to improve on the R's that we use. Something like, if you feel that you're going to use a filler word, take a pause, and not a long pause, a short pause, which again will get counted. Maybe take a deep breath and then again continue. Something like that is a very short, a very quick tip that can be incorporated in the upcoming meetings. Moving on to our grammarian. For today, you have noted down all good usages. Just to challenge you for the next time when you take up the grammarian role, you can share meanings of few new words which will help people to know those and use it in the upcoming meetings. Also, if you could have shared few more usages of words which were incorrect so that people can get the most of it and make sure that's not being repeated. And one point that there was a speaker who had used the word of the day. Overall, a great meeting. One point of improvement for the Zoom moderator, because the screen was being shared and the people had raised their hands, they could not see the timer card. I myself could not see the timer card. Chances are that people went over time because the timer cards were not visible. Next time, if we can, in the beginning, if we can ask everyone to pin the timer, or else if we can help spotlighting the timer, that would help people being on time. But overall, a great meeting, and I loved everything in today's meeting. Great learning session. With this, over to you, Toastmaster Chitrakshi.
Thank you, General Evaluator. Phew. Did you hear that? All of you were evaluated, and well, very well. Every one of us got to know what we could have done better. Since we're running out of time, I will have to quickly close. But before I close, just one thing here. Our counter, you did it, but you spelled my name wrong. I am in love with my name, please. I saw my name there and I said, how? Why? But anyway, he just did it. And well, I have to live with it now because it's been shared as well. So having said that, it was a lovely, lovely meeting. I had 2-3 videos to show you, but I will restrict myself again. As my evaluator said, time is running out and I'm sure the PO has a lot of things to say. And well, I'll let him do the closing today. He's been on time, no hours. He's been really good. So from me to you, handing it over to you, PO, reducing my time to give you more.
Thank you so much. So as I provide the closing address, I'm also launching the poll. So please quickly take the polls. And while we have the polls going on, anyone would want to share, anyone who's joined us as a guest for the first time in particular, if you have any observations about the meeting. One thing that we clearly know is that we exceed time often, and this is a problem that we have been struggling with for quite some time. And that's something that we're going to work on. We are working on making the agenda tighter. As I always say, that each of the 33 meetings we have started at 1000 hours. Only maybe 5 or 10 of them we have stopped at 12 noon. So, and trust me, the Gabbys can speak. So that's something that you will get to know more and more as you attend our meetings. So another clarification. This is more for the GE's observation. Since the instruction. So the way we typically do it, Simab, is that since our time is limited and we have got 41 members, and then a lot of guests also join us. So we don't ask our volunteers, one, to save time, and also so that we can provide opportunities to people who are not speaking. So that's why you would see, even if some speakers or role takers are volunteering, we request them to often next time. But having said that, I think it's a disappointment. I wish our meetings were longer and we had more energy to continue for the next 2 hours so that we can continue table topic. That gives me a thought that maybe it's time for us to bring back the table topic mania. We stopped that after 25 instances. Maybe we should bring it back. So I hope my AD is listening. Ragesh, I don't know if he's still there in the meeting. Yeah, he is. And I'm sure he's listening. Yeah, so probably we're going to bring it back. So to make up for some of the lost opportunities to hear you speak. Anyone wants to add something before we announce the results and officially adjourn the meeting? Any of the guests, Sanjana?
Yeah. Actually, I wanted to know what are these yellow cards and red cards. I couldn't see them while I was speaking.
Okay, so the red card, the green card is when you're just on time. So it's like the midway kind of, not midway, like 60% into your speech, I would say. Then yellow card is around 80% into your speech, and red card is on the when your allotted time is over. After that, we give 30 seconds of grace to wrap up your speech. So
But then where do I see them?
yeah, so that sometimes becomes an issue. So as the G rightly mentioned, we should have told at the beginning the timer that, to pin the timer, and or maybe something that the team out would have taken care. This is something that is an observation from our side, so we will take care of that. Point taken.
Thank you.
Akib, you had something to say?
Yes.
Yes.
So for me, Gabbys is already a top-notch club. Whenever I come, I see a lot of good practices being followed, good speeches, good table topics, and everything has some learning. But today I realized that few of the roles were mentored properly, but were not red teamed, as we say. Before we come to the meeting, we just check whether it was mentored and are we properly aligned with the standard that we have already built. So had it been a normal club, that is okay. Like newcomers come and you give a role, they play. But now, since it is a Gabby and you already have a standard set as a benchmark, getting it red teamed prior to the meeting would be a good idea. Just to take up, just to meet both lines, wherein I felt somewhere that we had not checked or red teamed it properly. So that is one thing of realization. But as a Gabby's, I know that you guys are doing wonders. 4 speeches in 4 evaluation, 3 speeches, I believe. But that is not normal. Like all the other clubs, they have 1 or 2 max, and then you roll into table topics. Doing all of it in 2 hours, again, you are taking more time, which means that you have a lot of good speakers and there is a lot of energy inside that. But bringing that red teaming part would be a good idea to meet up that standard. That's one thought which came today. Yeah.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Akib. You have been a regular guest, and your observations and your comments are really useful. It really helps. We don't only want to take this feedback to feel good and all gaga about us. So this feedback really helps. Thank you so much. Ram, you had a comment. Quick 30 seconds.
This is my first time in the club. I just wanted to understand, like, it will be all online meetings or physical meetings also will happen.
So what we do is we are an online club. When we started off as an online club. Now of late we have started doing hybrid meetings also. So sometimes we do hybrid meetings. So right now what we do is once in every 2-3 months we do a hybrid meeting. We're trying to regularize that and make it once a hybrid meeting every month. But that's all that you will have from the Gabbys in terms of physical meetings, because we as a club have a policy never to do an in-person meeting, not to be a part of any event or anything that is completely in person, because we have members from all across the country and also we have members from outside of India. So it's a commitment to them that we will never make them feel left out. So that's the reason we will never do an in-person, 100% in-person meetings. It will always be either online or a hybrid.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. And with this, I will announce the polls. And today I will not do much of a drama, guess and all, because we do have seriously run out of time. My VP has already set up a call after this with me, and I know what's coming up. So the best auxiliary role taker for today is he there? It's Toastmaster Nitesh Rajput, our counter for today. Congratulations, Toastmaster Nitesh. Great job. For all of you who don't know, Nitesh has joined us a few months back, right? Nitesh, a few weeks back, rather.
Yes.
And he has been a little hesitant in taking up roles of late, but now he started taking up the roles and he's doing so well. Congratulations, Nitesh. I really love to see you on the poster board. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, everyone.
Coming to the best evaluator. And the best evaluator is a Division B champion of evaluation speech contest, Toastmaster Aparna Raja. Congratulations, Aparna. Coming to the best table topic speaker, it is one of our newest members, Toastmaster Jitendra Rulania. Congratulations, Toastmaster Jitendra. And our best speaker for today, it's me. And the best role taker is, this one was a tough one, but finally, it is the T-Mod who takes the cake. So congratulations, Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Chitrakshi Vij. Thank you so much, everyone. And 15 minutes after the scheduled end time, I hereby adjourn the meeting number 133 of the Gabbys Toastmasters Club. See you next week. Bye-bye.
Bye all.